A banana duct taped to a wall, sold for $120,000. Some called it genius, others called it a joke. But what if neither were true? This is more than a viral art stunt. It's a window into the strange, secretive world of high-end contemporary art. In the next 30 minutes, we'll uncover how absurdity sells, how value is manufactured, and why the art market isn't really about art at all. It's about power, status, and money. Lots of money. Every December, Miami Beach transforms into something closer to a surreal dream than a city. At the center of this transformation is Art Basel, one of the most prestigious art fairs on the planet. Think private jets lined up on the tarmac, champagne on tap, and collectors rubbing shoulders with celebrities. The air smells like sunscreen, money, and ambition. It's not just an art show, it's a global marketplace for cultural capital. In 2019, amid this ocean of million-dollar canvases and avant-garde installations, one piece stole the spotlight. It wasn't a painting. It wasn't a sculpture. It was a banana, duct-taped to a white wall. The piece was titled Comedian, and almost overnight, it became the most talked-about artwork in the world. The man behind the banana was Maurizio Cattelan, an Italian conceptual artist with a long track record of poking the art world in the eye. He made a name for himself with absurd, provocative works that seemed to mock the very system that made him famous. One of his most talked-about early pieces was La Nona Ora, a sculpture of Pope John Paul II struck down by a meteor. Then came America, a fully functioning toilet cast in solid 18-karat gold, installed in a museum bathroom, and eventually stolen. Cattelan isn't just an artist, he's a satirist, a trickster, and a master of turning controversy into currency. By the time he taped a banana to a wall in Miami, he knew exactly what he was doing. The setup was intentionally simple: a single Chiquita banana, bought from a local grocery store, a strip of silver duct tape, one clean white wall inside the Perrotin Gallery booth, a top-tier player in the international art scene. No pedestal, no glass, just fruit and tape. The piece was titled Comedian, and it came with a $120,000 price tag. To almost everyone's disbelief, it sold. Then it sold again, and again. 3 editions, 3 buyers. Each transaction fueled the fire. This wasn't just a joke. It was a commercial success. And with every sale, the art world's credibility became part of the performance itself. Within hours, Comedian became a global sensation. CNN ran headlines. The New York Times published think pieces. Late-night hosts cracked jokes. The banana wasn't just a meme, it was a mirror reflecting everything absurd about modern art and media. Instagram flooded with selfies in front of the taped fruit. Critics debated its meaning. Comedians mocked it. Philosophers weighed in. Some called it brilliant. Others called it an embarrassment. But everyone was talking. In the age of viral content, Comedian was the perfect storm. Simple, ridiculous, and impossible to ignore. And just like that, the line between art and spectacle evaporated. Here's where things get weird. The buyers didn't actually receive the banana. What they bought was a certificate of authenticity, a legal document that says, essentially, you now own Comedian. The banana, that's replaceable. You can tape a new one anytime. It's not the object that matters. It's the idea. That's the core of conceptual art, and the loophole that turns perishables into permanent assets. What Cattelan sold wasn't fruit. It was intellectual property, framed as absurdity. And that's why it could be priced like a luxury car. In this world, meaning is marketable, and even a banana can become a brand. Just when the world thought the banana saga couldn't get weirder, it did. A few days after the sales frenzy, performance artist David DeTuna walked up to Comedian, casually peeled the banana off the wall, and ate it. Right there, in front of stunned onlookers. Security didn't stop him. In fact, the gallery called it a new performance. Hungry artist. The stunt didn't destroy the piece. Remember, the banana is replaceable. If anything, it deepened the mystery. Was Datuna's act vandalism or collaboration? In the strange world of conceptual art, destruction can be part of the creation. Now, the question wasn't just, what is art, but who decides when it ends? The banana became a kind of theater, and everyone watching became part of the show. The reactions split down the middle. To the public, it was an obvious punchline, a symbol of everything pretentious and broken in high-end art. Social media roared with mockery. This is why people don't trust artists, one tweet read. But in the art world, many defended it. Some called it brilliant commentary on commodification. Others praised Cattelan for exposing the absurdity of value itself. Critics debated whether the buyers were in on the joke or the butt of it. And what exactly had they bought? An object, an idea, or just attention? The banana was gone, but the conversation wasn't. And that's where its real value lived. Not on the wall, but in the argument. To understand how a banana can be worth $120,000, you have to understand how the art market works, and how it doesn't. Unlike stocks or real estate, art isn't priced by earnings, utility, or cash flow. It's priced by perception. Value is whatever someone is willing to pay, and in an unregulated market, perception is everything. That makes art one of the most volatile and most manipulable asset classes in the world. It's also illiquid, meaning it doesn't trade easily. That combination of subjectivity and scarcity creates a perfect storm for both speculation and strategic investment. In the right hands, art becomes less about aesthetics and more about financial theater. But not just anyone can sell a banana for 6 figures. That takes infrastructure. Elite galleries like Provenance act as cultural gatekeepers, selecting the artists, setting the prices, and shaping the narrative. They don't just exhibit work, they build reputations, restrict access, and manage supply. It's a system designed for exclusivity. If you're on the outside, you're irrelevant. If you're on the inside, you're valuable. Sometimes overnight. Scarcity here isn't accidental. It's strategic. By limiting how many pieces are sold, who gets to buy them, and when, galleries manufacture the illusion of rarity. And in a market built on perception, that illusion is everything. This is where contemporary art starts to resemble luxury branding more than culture. Think of Seth Godin's concept of artificial scarcity. The idea that rarity can be created, not discovered. It's how Hermès sells handbags, how Rolex maintains prestige, and how galleries drive prices sky high. When Cattelan limited Comedian to 3 editions, it wasn't because bananas were rare. It was because the illusion of rarity makes people pay attention. And when you control both the narrative and the inventory, you don't just sell art. You sell status, identity, and exclusivity. The art isn't rare. The access is. And that, more than anything, is what collectors are really buying. In the world of high-end art, value doesn't come from the object itself. It comes from the paperwork behind it. The certificate of authenticity is the true currency. It's a piece of paper that says, "This is the original," often signed by the artist or an authorized gallery. For Comedian, that certificate, not the banana, is what the buyer really purchased. The fruit will rot, the tape will peel. But the certificate persists, and with it, the legal right to reproduce the piece in its intended form. It's no different from owning the rights to a song or a patent. In many cases, the artwork is irrelevant. The document is the asset. And when art becomes a market, documentation becomes its currency. Collectors aren't always buying art because they love it. Increasingly, they're buying it because it behaves like a luxury investment. Unlike stocks, art isn't tied to quarterly reports or market cycles. Top-tier blue-chip works tend to appreciate steadily and hold value during downturns, making them attractive as inflation hedges. That's opened the door for a new wave of financial instruments, art funds, fractional ownership platforms, even securitized art portfolios. Investors can now buy a share of a Warhol like they'd buy a share of Apple. It's no longer about displaying taste. It's about storing value. And, in some cases, hiding it. But beyond appreciation, art offers another powerful incentive: tax strategy. Wealthy collectors use art to defer, reduce, or avoid taxes altogether. Donating art to a museum can generate a hefty write-off, often based on appraised value, not purchase price. Before 2018, US law allowed like-kind exchanges, where one artwork could be swapped for another, deferring capital gains tax. Even now, many use offshore trusts and shell companies to shield ownership. The IRS has caught on, but enforcement is thin. Art is uniquely useful here. It's portable, subjective in value, and easy to reappraise. In the right hands, a canvas becomes a loophole. That leads us to Freeports, massive, high-security storage facilities where art can sit for years, untouched by taxes. The most famous is the Geneva Freeport, but there are others in Luxembourg, Singapore, and Delaware. Together, they house an estimated $100 billion in art, most of it never seen by the public. These are vaults, not galleries. The works are technically in transit, which exempts them from import duties and VAT. Ownership can change hands inside the facility without ever crossing a border. It's the perfect system for anyone looking to trade high-value assets in total secrecy. In many ways, it's less about art and more about access. With secrecy comes risk, and that risk has drawn the attention of lawmakers. In recent years, US Senate investigations and EU financial reports have raised alarms about how easily art can be used to launder money. The process is simple. Buy a painting with illicit funds, sell it later under a clean name, and voila, dirty money becomes clean. The opacity of the market, the lack of standardized pricing, and the use of intermediaries make it a magnet for abuse. Major auction houses deny wrongdoing, but the loopholes are real. When a banana sells for $120,000, it's not just a punchline. It's a symptom of a system built to obscure, not illuminate. Auctions like Sotheby's and Christie's aren't just marketplaces, they're market makers. These institutions don't just reflect the value of art, they help create it. By setting estimates, offering guarantees to sellers, and even placing in-house bids, they can steer momentum and inflate perceived demand. A high estimate signals prestige. A surprise hammer price generates headlines. It's theater with financial consequences. And because many top buyers are private, the actual dynamics behind those record-breaking sales often go unexamined. What looks like market enthusiasm may be strategic bidding, coordinated transactions, or even prearranged deals. It's not fraud, it's just the way the game is played. Behind closed doors, demand isn't always what it seems. In many cases, collectors or galleries will bid on their own works to drive up prices, a practice that, while questionable, isn't always illegal. Known as chandelier bidding or insider buying, it helps manufacture momentum and inflate an artist's market. Sometimes, sales are made to friendly collectors who then sell back later at a loss. A calculated move to establish false highs. The art stays within a small circle, but the public sees movement and assumes value. The line between savvy marketing and manipulation blurs. And when perception drives price, illusion can be just as powerful as demand. This is why Comedian hit the sweet spot. It was perfect for the market, absurdly simple, incredibly cheap to produce, but wrapped in layers of conceptual meaning. It was reproducible, but only in theory. The certificate ensured each version was unique. It was funny, self-aware, and ironically on-brand for a system that thrives on contradiction. Cattelan didn't just create a joke, he built a Trojan horse. The banana mocked the market while fully participating in it. And because it triggered public reaction, it became even more valuable. In the end, Comedian was the rare piece that functioned as both satire and commodity. That's what made it work and sell. Zooming out, the question becomes, why does any of this matter? And the answer lies in status. Economists call it a Veblen good, something that becomes more desirable the more expensive it gets. In this world, art isn't just decoration, it's a form of signaling. A way to say, I have taste, wealth, and access. Especially with conceptual art, owning it isn't about beauty. It's about belonging to a certain elite. The more confusing or abstract the piece, the more exclusive the signal. You're not just buying a banana on a wall. You're buying your way into a club that most people don't understand. And that's the point. But this signaling power doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's reinforced by institutions, museums, foundations, and academic circles that determine what counts as important. When a collector donates a work to MoMA or the Tate, that piece is enshrined. Its value rises, and so does the donor's cultural capital. Influence shapes canon. And behind the scenes, those donations often come with board seats, naming rights, or curatorial sway. The boundary between philanthropy and self-interest gets blurry. The museum says, this is art. The market responds with money. And slowly, taste is institutionalized, not based on merit alone, but on power, access, and the ability to shape the narrative. To really understand why someone would pay $120,000 for a banana taped to a wall, you have to think beyond the object. This is about ego, prestige, belonging. Buying art at that level isn't about taste. It's about access. It puts you in the same room, literally and figuratively, as the ultra-wealthy and influential. It signals that you get it, even if no one else does. And once a few high-status collectors play along, everyone else follows. Social proof kicks in. Fear of missing out escalates. In a world where perception is everything, the risk isn't buying something ridiculous. It's missing the next big thing, especially if everyone else is in on the joke. So was Comedian a critique of the system, or a product of it? The answer is both. Maurizio Cattelan is a master at playing both sides. His work ridicules the art world while simultaneously profiting from it. He's not pretending to be above it. He's inside it, laughing along. Comedian was absurd, yes, but it was also perfectly engineered to go viral, stir controversy, and fit neatly into the market it was mocking. And that's the brilliance of it. The joke isn't just on the buyers. It's on the system, on the media, and maybe even on us for caring so much. That's why it worked, because everyone saw what they wanted to see. Once upon a time, art was about the object, the canvas, the sculpture. But that's over. Today, in the world of high-end conceptual art, what matters isn't what you see. It's what the piece means. Or more accurately, what someone with money and power says it means. The banana wasn't valuable because it was rare or beautiful. It was valuable because Cattelan said it was, and the right people agreed. This is the era of commodified ideas, where the concept is everything, and the physical item is just a placeholder. It's no longer about what art is, it's about what it represents, and who gets to define that. So who wins in this system? Rarely the artists. Even when they break through, most don't stay at the top. The real profits flow elsewhere, to the galleries that gatekeep, the advisors who orchestrate careers, the tax strategists who hide assets, and the collectors who treat art like a portfolio. It's a machine that runs on commissions, donations, and arbitrage. For every headline-grabbing sale, there's a network of players extracting value. And often, the artist becomes the least powerful person in the room. The art world may be built on creativity, but the money flows through middlemen, and they know exactly what they're doing. It's tempting to call the whole thing a scam, and in some ways, it is. But it's also a scam that everyone's agreed to play along with. No one's being tricked. They're just participating in a very specialized game, where the rules are flexible, and the stakes are symbolic. The banana didn't have to be good art. It had to be seen, debated, argued over. That attention became value, and value became money. It's not fraud, it's theater. A strange performance where taste, finance, and ego blur into one. And as long as there are buyers, sellers, and headlines, the show will go on. The banana wasn't the point. It was the mirror. A mirror held up to a system where value is whatever the powerful say it is, where absurdity becomes currency, and meaning is optional. Maybe Comedian wasn't just mocking the art world, maybe it was exposing all of us. Because deep down, we understand the game. We see how prestige is manufactured, how perception is bought and sold. And yet, we keep watching, we keep clicking, we keep caring. Not in spite of the absurdity, but because of it. The banana didn't break the system. It revealed it, and in doing so, it made us all part of the performance. Before you go, if this video made you rethink what counts as value or who gets to define art, consider subscribing. We unpack stories like this to show how power, perception, and money collide in unexpected ways. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Do you think Comedian was brilliant, or just a scam? And more broadly, should art still be about beauty and skill, or has that ship sailed? If this kind of hidden system fascinates you, check out our last video. It's about how MLMs turn everyday people into product-pushing zealots. It's not just business, it's belief. And sometimes it's cult behavior in a business suit.